the world is Myanmar? That was my question 3 years ago when my friends told me we will be going on a mission trip to Myanmar. And since that time, I have fallen in love with the place. Not because the place is beautiful, it is beautiful, and not because the food is delicious, because it is delicious, but because of the people. Because when you see those kids smiling at you, when you see those Thanakas on their faces, on their skin, and when you see those smile, you will be moved. Because these kids from elementary to high school, even to college, you will just see the most precious smiles there is in their faces. And it's just amazing. And last week of June, we were asked by ASAP, Adventist Southeast Asian Projects, to go to Myanmar once again. And I was not about to hesitate. I did not hesitate because I would love to go in a place where God calls me, in a place where I found joy. And the first time I went to Myanmar, I've seen those beautiful smiles. I've seen those welcoming faces. And year by year, the experience just grows. And this year, same as last year, same as 2 years or 3 years ago, it was amazing. So we were greeted by the students who are in an impoverished part of Myanmar. We traveled, we arrived in Yangon, and then we took the van and we traveled 4 to 5 hours to be in a place called Taungu. And when you see Myanmar, it's most of them rice fields. So the travel was sweet, the travel was rainy, and most of the time while we were there, it was raining all day long. So you could barely see the sun. The place is so gloomy, but when you see these kids turn the gloomy day into sunshine. So what we did in Myanmar was to help out in their medical and dental needs, as what we have been doing last year. We started medical and dental last year in the same place, and then we came back because we have seen the need of medical and dental for these kids. And this school, this is an elementary and high school, from from kindergarten up to grades 1 up to grade 12. And come to think of it, their grade 12, some of their grade 12 enrollees are even 22 or 26 years old. And what's beautiful thing about this place experienced poverty. This place experienced all the poor conditions that you could see in a third world. But these kids, they barely ask help from you. They don't beg. They are the ones who extend help. They will be the ones while you're carrying your luggage, while you're carrying your bags, they are the ones who would run by your side, and then they'll help you carry all those things. And when you look at them, they could even barely carry a bag, but they will grab it from you, they'll put it on your shoulders, and then they'll run. And the church is situated on top of a little hill. So just imagine looking at little kids, boys and girls, carrying those luggages, carrying those suitcases up to those hills. Then there was one experience from one of our speakers. His name is, I'll mention his name. His name is Brother Martin Kim. He's one of the powerful speakers that I have met. And there were a lot of mosquitoes in this place. And you'll see him like waving mosquitoes on top of his head. And out of nowhere, this kid took out his fan and then fanned the mosquito off the head of Brother Martin until the program was over. Just imagine that he was just there fanning the head of Brother Martin until the program was over. So those kids, they are just like ready to help out. And when we had our dental outreach, the electricity, the power is not consistent. It's up and down, and we are being run by generator. So we are dependent on electrical power through the generator, but sometimes the generator loses fuel. So it's on at the first hour and then it's off. So the problem is, it's so humid and it's quite hot. So whenever the generator is off, there's no electricity. There's no electric fan. So what happened was, these kids, they'll just take out their fan and then they'll fan our doctors. They'll fan the dentist. They'll fan the nurses. And it's funny because you'll see the dentist roaming around the room, taking their stuff, taking their syringe or something, and you'll see these kids following after the doctors wherever they go. You can find kids that are more helpful than these kids. So our hearts were touched. Our hearts were melted by the kindness of these kids. And the beautiful thing about these kids, one more thing, they don't just help out, they give out. Every day when we go to their school, some of our friends, some of our dentists will receive a hair clip, will receive a lei, will receive flour, will receive something. And they just give us that because of our presence. And they'll tell us, we are happy because you're here. It's nothing that we have done to them. It's not even the dental service or the medical service that we gave them. It's just your presence. They are so blessed that you were there. That they were so blessed that you have visited them. And it touched our hearts. And you know what? When the mission trip was over, I've seen that I have a lot of gifts coming from these kids. And when I open those gifts, I've seen that there's, in that little gift of mine, I've seen marbles inside it. I've seen origami, folded papers, crane papers. I've seen little balloons being wrapped in there. And I even received a blank notebook. And you could just say, blank notebook, yeah, big deal. But come to think of it, you should look back on those kids. Look, who is giving that to you? That kid who gave you that notebook needs that notebook more than you do. And you know what I've learned from these kids? They will give their best. They will give their best. They'll give their all. They'll give what's best for them during that time. And my question is, what I'm giving for the Lord is not my best. And I was just moved by the generosity of these kids, by the kindness of these kids. And it's just amazing being inspired. And one more thing, ASAP asked me to go to their orphanage, and then I took a picture of this place. It's just like 5 meters by, no, not even 5 meters. It's just like a 4 meter by 8 meter room. And you know what? 8 boys are living in that dorm. 8 boys. 16 boys are living in that room. And when I look at their possessions, when I look at their stuff, it's just like in a box as big as this, as thick as this. And when I saw that, when I opened it, it dawned on me, that's their personal belonging. That's their everything. That is their all. And when I look at these kids, when they talk to you and they vibrate with the most beautiful smile that you could ever see in your life. And then I was just moved. How could these kids smile bigger than my smile, than my companion's smile? Because you know what? They have found Jesus. And when we went to Myanmar, although we were thinking that we will be a blessing to these kids, that we will be teaching them something, but you know what? At the end of that mission trip, at the end of that beautiful mission trip, we have learned that we were the ones who were being blessed. We were the ones who were being taught. We've learned a lot from those kids. We've learned to be happy with what we have. We learned to give God our best. We learned to give God our all. So Myanmar for me has a special place in my heart. And if God calls me back to that place again, I will never hesitate. I will go in a heartbeat, because that is a reminder of heaven for me. That's Myanmar.